Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Duncan and my channel is called Free as an Eagle. I want to talk with you briefly about NDEs, near-death experiences, and why I think they actually are a reality. They're a view from people that have gone over to the other side, having clinically died for any amount of time and come back from the other side. Uh, the reason I believe in this is because right now there are hundreds, if not thousands, of recorded incidents in which people have gone over to the other side and seen the reality that they experienced there and come back with a very lucid and vivid recall of exactly what they went through. And there's so many of these cases that they're no longer just anecdotal. These have turned into actual evidence and been proven beyond what I consider a reasonable doubt as to be actually the reality. And it's great news. It's much better than what we have seen portrayed in religions. And it also supersedes religion because so many people are confused because there's so many religions out there and there are so many possible churches, versions of texts of Bibles and other religious manuscripts that it's left many people confused and they fear a judgmental God. Um, However, the God that's been revealed in near-death experiences actually is a very forgiving, loving God, and this God overlooks religious background and accepts people that come over there in a completely non-judgmental way, where they experience a complete, overwhelming sense of love and acceptance, no judgment. And even during a life review, which many experience, they see the reality of their whole life. They can relive their whole life in a matter of minutes or seconds. Um, there's no time on the other side. So these people will relive their entire life in present moment and see it as if they were the people that they interacted with. So whether for good or bad, they actually are experiencing, excuse me, experiencing the golden rule, and in a form of enforcement, they see their entire life as if they were the people they affected, and they can feel it, but yet without condemnation. This is a learning experience, and they report that they've basically been told that this earthly life is a learning experience in a school, and that we go on from here and we get to use what we learn. This gets really deep. I'm just doing a little touch on the subject to pique interest if possible, because I actually believe that this is the truth and that this God is so big that he overlooks religious backgrounds. If you're afraid that you're in the wrong religion or the wrong church or reading the wrong version of the Bible, um, the great news is that it doesn't matter. People have avowed atheists, as long as you don't turn away from the light and reject the love of God. And I'm using the word God. Some people refer to this as source or other things. Doesn't matter. God's too big to be petty and concerned with names and all this sort of thing. He doesn't want to lose anybody. That's a great thing. This God does not want to lose anybody and will go to the ends of the earth and beyond to try to bring people in. That only people that end up out in what they call the void are people that continue to reject the light and the love of God. So there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. Um, so I would suggest, I'm new in this YouTube business, and my channel is dedicated to basically sharing aspects of my own life, everything from hiking and photography to, skiing and outdoor activities, things I love to do. But centrally, this whole NDE thing has become a huge refocusing point for me, because all my life I've been looking for spiritual inputs and trying to figure out what's really going on, if it could be grabbed onto. Uh, I had literally given up hope and felt like that my faith was faltering. I've been in and out of churches and various organizations, up to and including cults, to try to find the truth out. And until I ran into this NDE thing, I really didn't feel like the pieces were falling into place. There were too many things going wrong on this earth: wars and famines and droughts and disasters and crazy people. And shootings and every other possible thing that could cause you to lose faith, I really was on the verge of giving up and saying, you know what, this is just so messed up. I don't see how a God could exist that could just stand by and watch all this happen and not intervene. Uh, Everything happens for a reason, and we're here to learn, and we also have free will here. So that's why people can choose good or bad. And on this earth, many people fall into the delusion that this is all there is, and they go after power, money, fame, and move in hate and fear and other things, thinking that somehow this is a zero-sum game, and if they don't win, that they necessarily lose, that there's not enough to go around. And the fact is, there's plenty to go around. And if people move in love, they're more concerned about seeing other people succeed than they're just making their own mark in the world, making their own success. Uh, so my belief is that when enough people are enlightened with this truth, we can flow together in cooperation versus competition in such a way that nobody has to lose out, nobody's got to die in poverty and pain. There's great news in terms of what has been brought back from the other side. I'm going to do some other streams where I go into more detail and interview people about this, but it's fantastic news. And if you want to look into this further, I'm going to put some material on my channel. I'm new at this. I don't have a lot to offer yet. I am motivated to try and pursue this further and learn along with you. So if you want to join me in my channel and follow along, I'll be putting out material. There's a lot of great channels out there now. My main suggestion is, if you want to look into this a little further, look on YouTube. I mean, there's books. Ray Moody started studying this back in 1975 and documented many cases. There's many books out there. The Bible has a number of instances of people that came back, including Paul, who said whether in or out of the body, he didn't know, but he'd been up to the fifth heaven or something. And he reported this, and a lot of Bible authors. Now, this isn't taught in churches because it's considered to be crazy or new agey or whatever. And in mainstream churches, this has been rejected largely. In fact, it's actually very biblical, the idea of people on the other side that have been consulted or contacted or that have reported back what they experienced. So this is not new. This has been going on since the beginning of time, and only recently has it become a mainstream accepted subject. And now with YouTube, there are hundreds of videos. I look for ones from people, just regular everyday people that have had these experiences through a heart attack or an accident or whatever, and came back from these experiences. And if you find videos where it's an actual person that you can see, it's not an AI, it's not a secondhand story of people that have had these experiences and reported back, they're very real and lucid. And these people, in fact, every case I've seen, you can kind of sense whether this person's sincere and real. And most of them all are. They report very similar things. They don't all experience the same thing. People have come from every background, every religious faith, no religious faith, hardcore atheism, and come back with very similar stories of being just experiencing incredible, indescribable love, indescribable colors, telepathic communication, amazing things, timelessness. And Bible even says, 1,000 years is as a single day or whatever. And they experience this. They'll be dead on the table for 5 minutes and come back and feel like they went through something that would have taken months or years to happen. They come back. And in the old days, people would come back from these experiences and try to tell their doctor or nurse or somebody about it, and they would just shoot them up with Haldol or some drug. No, you're crazy. You need to go. They'd send them to a psych ward, or people would be institutionalized for trying to describe what they had experienced. Well, now there's so many of these experiences documented that it's become scientific evidence, and people will describe things they could never have seen that were happening in the hospital or elsewhere during these experiences. They will leave their body and see things happening, hear things, travel, come back and be able to give very vivid and clear descriptions. And these things they'll remember vividly because it impacted them on a spiritual level. Our bodies are useful when we're here, but they're limiting. On the other side, the colors are very vibrant and far beyond what we have here. Music is incredible. So we are used to living in a limited environment, and many people still believe that when your body dies, you're gone, and that's the end of it. There's much evidence that isn't so. So I invite you to search into this subject and keep an eye out for things that come up on my channel, Free as an Eagle. I invite you to join. I mean, there's plenty of people doing this. I'm only looking to share the experience with others that are searching and haven't found what they're looking for. Until this, I never felt like I really could settle on any system of belief that really checked all the boxes. And when I became aware of this and began searching, all the puzzle pieces began falling into place. It made sense. It ties everything together. On the other side, our God or source or creator, we're all one. We're all connected. And what we do impacts others in ways we don't know. Thoughts are things. They actually carry weight. There's just an entire world of knowledge and information that's available to us. And some people, in fact, a lot of people that have come back to these NDEs, come back from them, suddenly have knowledge and access to things they wouldn't have, and they can communicate with people. I mean, very often on the other side, people will go through a tunnel toward a light. They'll see past relatives, even some that was ancestors they've never met, but they're all familiar. They realize that they know them. And it explains a lot of the interesting connections we have on Earth when we run into somebody that we totally vibe with and can trust and just feel right with. I mean, these are people that we may have interacted with in the past. So this is all quite fascinating, and I encourage you to check it out. And I'll let this go at this point for now. I just hope I've piqued your curiosity. There's a Netflix series, something like Life After Death. I don't remember if that's the name of it. Plenty of testimonies of people that have gone through this. So something interesting. It really can answer a lot of questions. So I hope to see you again, and enjoy the day.